Hey, we're talking dressings today, right? So how long does it take to make your favorite dressing? Let's find out. So, first things first, put on your apron. And get out your powerful blender, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a Vitamix. I used to use a regular blender. I have in the past even used my Bullet. Whatever works for you works. Get a cutting board so you don't ruin your counter. A favorite knife to chop up some of your veggies. And that's really the only tools you'll need other than serving stuff. Now I'm getting out the veggies that I'm going to use. First, I start with celery, about 2 cups worth. The celery is going to add the salt and some of the bulking agents. I'm also going to use a squash. It could be a zucchini, a patty pan. In fact, you could use tomatoes, you could use carrots, you could use any vegetable that you would like. I'm going to use an entire large lemon. I use the peels. Not everybody likes the peels. The peels are very astringent, so if they bother you, peel it. Then you have to select what flavor dressing you want to make today. So today we're doing it in Italian parsley. Sometimes we love basil, sometimes we'll do cilantro. Then we need something to sweeten it, so we're going to use the dates, and we're going to use hemp hearts as our fat today. It's very creamy and smooth. I'm removing just some of the dead ends because I do prep some of my food in advance to keep things easy. And that does mean sometimes as I get to the bottom of the celery, it's starting to get a couple of wimpy ends. So we're going to clean the ends off of the celery here. I do chop up the veggies. I know the Vitamix could do it for me. But remember, your Vitamix is going to create heat. That's what makes it make soup that we love so much. And I don't want to run my Vitamix so long that my dressing becomes warm. So I pre-chop much of my veggies just to keep it easier on the Vitamix and to keep the dressing cool. Notice when we're making dinners, we'll take our food out of the fridge to keep it warmer, but when we're making a dressing, we want it cold. Today, I'm using a yellow crookneck squash. Why? Because that's what came out of our garden this week. But any squash, any bulking agent will work. You could even use mango and bell pepper here. If you wanted a French dressing, you could even use some tomatoes. I'm keeping this a creamy Italian flavoring. Now, I never use the ends of the lemons, but we're going to chop up the lemons. And once again, I'm chopping them into small chunks because I don't want my Vitamix to get too warm and warm up my dressing. Both the peels and the pits have very beneficial qualities for your body. Now for the sweetness, you could add any kind of sweetness you want. Some people use maple syrup. Some people use agave. That's too high in the glycemic index for me. My sweetness of choice tends to be medjool dates whenever possible. I'm taking out the pits. I leave the pits into the last minute, but always check for bug tracks. Sometimes bugs get inside your dates. So I'm looking to make sure that the dates are clean. Now, depending upon how sweet you want your dressing to be, you could add it 3, 4, 5, 6 dates. If their dates are bigger, I add less as well. Then I'm going to add a fat to make it creamy. So in this case, I'm using 3 tablespoons of hemp hearts. So a tablespoon's about the same size as the palm of my hand. I've gotten used to this over the years, and so I know just about what a tablespoon should look like. And then I'm going to add some water. I don't add as much water as I will probably need in the beginning because I want to see how thick it's going to get. Sometimes if you're adding bell pepper or tomatoes or something that's even juicier than squash, you may find that you don't need to add another set of water. If you're making it a dip, you might not want second set of water. If you wanted a creamy dressing so it pours easily, you might want to add more water. So it's always easier to add water than it is to take it away. So now this first blend is just blending everything up, and I take this opportunity while it's blending to put away all of my produce and my things that I've taken out, prep for the seasonings that are going to go next, and I wash dishes as I go whenever possible. I'm making it with, looks like I got stuck, huh? I'm making it with parsley today. That's all I'm going to add into this dressing today is just fresh chopped parsley. Now, if you allow the parsley to go all the way through, your dressing will end up green goddess style. It'll be a green dressing. In this case, I really want it to stay a cream dressing with little green flecks in it. If you want it to have that traditional ranch, you could always add some fresh dill or other fresh herbs in here. Any herb would be great. If you want Southwest, add some Southwest seasonings and cilantro and put in a lime instead of a lemon. Because I was aiming for Italian, I did parsley. See how it's still got kind of a little bit of the bumps in there? It's really good for a dip right now, but I am looking for creamier. Tastes good. I just want it a little bit thinner and a little bit creamier. So now I'm going to put it back on and let it blend again. And while it blends this time, I'm going to go wash my dishes so that when I'm enjoying my lunch, I'm not sitting in a dirty kitchen. In our home, we like our dressings really, really creamy. I am not much of a creamy or gravy person, so for me to have something that is saucy on top of my stuff, I like it to be really, really smooth. But letting it blend, washing the dishes. These new Vitamix, I have a Vitamix 3500 and it has settings on there for timers. So I enjoy this timer. It goes and then shuts itself off. Now let's check it this time. Oh yeah, see, much better, yeah? It's nice and creamy and it's kind of thin, but it's still got some stick-to-itiveness, so it'll stick to my things. Now it's time to add our seasonings and our herbs of choice to help add the flavors. Let's scrape down the side so everything gets blended in, because this is going to be a quick blend and I don't want to lose all the juiciness up the side. Oh, let's grab some sea moss gel. I've been trying to add 2 tablespoons of sea moss gel every day to our diet. It's something that's good for your system because it adds so many minerals from the sea that we don't always get since our soils have been so depleted. This is very easy to make, or you can buy it pre-made. But let's just add a little bit, and you see I put it back in the fridge right away, so I don't have this disaster in my kitchen. I know people get stressed about that. Now, if you have the older Vitamix, now's a good time to just go pulse, pulse, pulse. I'm actually just turning the dial so that it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and then back down to 1. If you let it go on low for a little bit, it'll help take out the bubbles. But I just want to pulse it and blend it in well. I think that's perfect. So now let's put away our Vitamix. I like to put things away as I go. Oh, we have so much, so the first thing I'm going to do is save some for later. I like to save it in the fridge. Remember, it's got citric acid in it, so it's going to last easily 4 or 5 days. We usually have consumed it before it's gotten that long. But I'm just stirring it and tapping it to help get some of the bubbles out so that it doesn't oxidize as fast. Putting it in the fridge. On the door, we have one shelf that has all different sauces. Now I'm going to take a bowl so that I can put it out in there and dip my goodies into it. I could make a salad and just pour it all over my salad. I could put zoodles, but to be honest, remember, eating raw, we're trying to keep this as simple and as easy as possible. So in this case, I'm just putting it into a little bowl so I can slurp my yummy veggies in. Now, I need to get some veggies to dip into this. What should we do? Oh, maybe we should do a taste test first. Let's make sure it's all. Oh, yum, it tastes so good. I can't wait to just chow in this for lunch. Okay, so now we're at 10 minutes and we've already made our homemade fresh dip. We've already put away our dishes and our utensils. And I guess I should have dipped the other end of the lettuce in. But, you know, other than the fact that I'm making a mess out of myself in front of you, it's very drippy, but you can see by my chin, it's got some good stick-to-itiveness, but it does taste yummy. Now, I would recommend using the rib side of the lettuce. Sometimes I'll put the veggies on the inside and wrap it up like a little roll. I've got my Vitamix in there, filling up with water. I rinse it out first so that it's just got the first rinse done. Vitamix, a neat trick to help you clean your Vitamix if you really have some goopy stuff stuck in there, is just put a little bit of soap and water inside your Vitamix and let it run with soapy water, and then take it out and run it again with clean water, and then you're done pretty much. You can rinse it one more time in the sink if you want, but it's done. We don't really use a dishwasher because when you don't have a lot of oils or fats in your food, all we need to do is rinse the food off. So we're making sure there's no rotting food bacteria, but washing it and letting it dry works for our family. Now I'm just rinsing off this cutting board. I'm going to actually use it again, so I'm not trying to be super perfect, just trying to keep the soap off, because we need to chop up some veggies for us to put dipping into our little dressing that we just made. Sometimes I laugh at myself how much I clean as I go. So, because we prepped food when we came in on Wednesday, remember there's bags in there of prepped celery and prepped carrots, and our lettuce is in our Debbie Meyer green box, all ready to go. So now all I am doing is putting out one of those baggies of lettuce, baggie of carrots, and I'm going to chop up a yellow bell pepper. I'm trying to put some rainbow in here, and to be honest, I just don't really like red tomatoes and red radishes and stuff. So I have trouble with red, so I hide my reds. But there's my greens and my yellows and my oranges. And of course, I get all my blueberries and everything with the dark blues on all sorts of smoothies and everything. Berries do not go at lunch. So we're catching the rest of the rainbow at lunchtime. Now, our hemp had about 3 tablespoons, had about 180 calories. So if you're aiming for 1,800 calories per day, realistically, that was a 10% fat for the day. And if you're eating that entire thing over a bowl of zoodles or cucumber noodles, koodles, or if you were just going to eat it like a soup, you could dump it on a great big dressing and eat the whole thing, and you'd still be at only 10% fat for the day. So I'm actually not going to eat it all at one setting. And I do like to alternate my fats. So if I'm eating hemp hearts today, I'll probably do something with walnuts tomorrow, or chia. So I kind of rotate through avocado, chia, hemp hearts. I do use some flaxseed every once in a while. Coconut is a high fat, of course. So isn't that a beautiful platter? And look, we're less than 15 minutes and we've made a healthy dressing. We're eating a healthy lunch, and it's time to eat. And everything is clean. The dishes are done. I hope this shows you that you can enjoy a healthy, fresh, homemade veggie dressing at lunchtime in less than 15 minutes.